Okay, cool. So yeah, so I guess just like from our side, from Alterrage, we're following Emma's lead of like giving like a lot of like community updates. And so this week, since like recovering from Miami and what I brought back to Paris with that, um, we've been figuring out like how to kind of organize, even still around like this very like Web3, moving towards a DAO like structure. And so, how does that look for a fashion label? So we've been like doing meeting and trying to figure out like what are the categories of Alterage, what are different roles, and so I've created this presentation to kind of standardize that, because once I think everyone understands, that is when like we can start to come together, and like start completing kind of like these tasks around together. So every time like I make a presentation, I kind of say like what is Alterage, for maybe anyone who doesn't know. So Alterage began for me as like a reaction to the fashion industry. So I'm living in Paris, but I've been working like in New York and London, and now Paris in the luxury industry for the past like 9 years. And so it's been really great, and I've learned a lot of things, but I've picked up a lot of things that are wrong with the industry. And so, how Alterage began was like, for me, I'm a designer, so I understand first about product and how to create product. And so I saw that as a major problem of like, although so much of our product is like going to waste and negatively impacting people and the environment. So it was really also like, how do we make like a phygital solution, in like a luxury kind of format, as like a luxury brand. So with that, that was for me a solution would be to do phygital. So we have like these two worlds. We have, or three maybe, depending on what you think. We have the physical world, which we are constrained environmentally, and then yeah, we have just different physical constraints with our bodies, and with how we want to express ourselves physically. And then we have the digital world, which is really like new, developing. We have all of these like this craze, metaverse craze, and so how does that look, and how can we kind of adapt our product between these two worlds? So that's what like Alterage is about, combining digital with yeah, sustainability, circularity. So and yeah, this is just kind of what I just explained. So then, yeah, going to the roles. So the logo of Alterage is called épée, and it's a French word for a type of sword. And so it's something that's a bit aggressive. It's kind of anarchist, and it's also like the A of Alterage, and in the center of it is the eye of a QR code. And then I think the QR code is really interesting because it was like created and patented by an organization, as a way to share information easily. But what they did was they have the patent, but they didn't ever act on it, and so it became like open source essentially. So like now, just think about how easy, like, and how many people use QR codes. So I think also now recently, like with becoming a realm, like that's what we're trying to align with, is like open source sharing, transparency, which is really opposite, in nature to the fashion industry currently. So it's also like a test. Like we are scared. Like as me as a designer, I've had my stuff stolen, my work stolen countless times when I'm transparent and honest. But I think the difference this time is the community that surrounds us, as well as this ability of like transparency through the blockchain and all this new technology. So I think these elements coming together will enable like this transparent open source mentality. So within Alterage, we have these different roles. And so within Discord, like this would be as you would be titled. And so each one also is an NFT. So then this would be airdropped to your wallet, kind of depending on which role you have. So the main role is Alter Core. So this is essentially like the internal team, maybe has like, you would think about it in a traditional fashion company. But what we're really trying to avoid is this hierarchy. Like right now, you're working at like Saint Laurent. You have a manager, and then that manager has a manager, and that manager has like a head boss. And so you're always like this very top-down approach, and we want to remove that. So this is our experiment. And so the core team is like more thought of as being like a leader. So each person has like a specialty arranged by different affinities. And so like this will then, they will kind of lead like their group, but then these groups are still open to the community and to like others who want to join. And so if you're part of Alter Core, then you receive this NFT token. We're building now Alter Affinity, which is also TBD on the name. If you go to the Alterrage section, I think I posted it. We're doing a little poll about like which kind of name we were gonna do. So if you would like to vote, you can go vote there. And so these affinities are essentially departments like of a fashion label, but then will be deployed as like different tasks for each week. And so the community will have the opportunity to become a part of the affinity, and by completing these tasks, like as we do in like in GDN, you receive like some governance token, and then that will determine your voting power in like the future kind of snapshot proposals that we create. The third is collab. So an example would be like we did that future eShock film. So then like the people we collaborated with would receive this token in their wallet. And yeah, so that would be kind of maybe more pre-selected people who have worked on projects. And then we have Alter Mod, which is people who are essentially building our community, which is what we've learned is super important in becoming like a Web3 DAO-like fashion label. And so there's kind of two options. There's either maybe like connecting with the community directly, just speaking, sharing in spaces, co-hosting, but then also a side of like creating digestible kind of like content, video that we can like share on our social media or on our Discord. And then we have Alter Partner. So an example of that would be DIGITALAX, as we're partnering together for realms, and like the point is really like aligning on like a shared set of values in a core mission. And then what we also recently like deployed along with you guys, others in the realms, is the patron system. And so it's just another way to take part in Alterrage. So we have like those 3 tiers that I think others have kind of broken down and determined what benefits are associated with each one. So yeah, in the Git book, we added more detail on that. And so the second part is the affinity. So this is like kind of, as I was saying, like the departments of a brand. And so how we're trying to avoid kind of this hierarchy is to have a couple of like selected leaders. And so then each week we deploy different tasks that can be completed by the community. And so, and then every Friday we'll kind of review the tasks and then allocate that governance token. So we have different sections. So the first is Alter Community, which kind of relates to that mod category. So that would be like Mod Connect. So that would be co-hosting spaces, finding guest speakers for our own Alterrage Twitter spaces, which will start in the new year. And then we'll do these like kind of challenges. And then also the other side of like Mod Crea. So then that would be making video, image, collage, kind of following our branding guide, and then creating something for that. And the second one is the Alter Edition in Capsule. So this is like we call our collections editions. And so we have those are seasonal, and then we also have like capsule collections as well. And so that will be, instead of rewarded with a governance token, that will be with a sales profit share model, which we will actually create, I think, for one of our first kind of voting snapshot proposals. So we can kind of all decide on that together of what is fair. How do we divide a sales profit share model? And so then the third is Alter Tech. So that is figuring out how can we come together either to create open source tech developments that also help to build the digital, physical fashion ecosystem, as well as like the whole industry. So that's, yeah, definitely the more tech side. And then Alter Infinity. So that's thinking about the full life cycle of a product, kind of combining digital, physical, that includes also like transparency reporting and sourcing. So that's a bit more like a traditional product development side. And then we have Alter Showcase, which is like, how do we showcase the collection and like build events. If it's avatars, models, photo shoots, presentations. And then the last two are like Alter Web3. So as we're like being like the first like Web3 fashion label under DIGITALAX is how do we make sure we like learn to implement the tech side and the strategy. So we have like those two sides. And then the last one is Alter Anarchy. So it's figuring out how do we implement environmental and social causes with our collections. And so we have 3 ways to do that. We create call to actions around like a certain topic. So our first topic is e-waste, and then we partner with nonprofits and organizations who are specialized in this, and then we fund. So we will take like a percentage of our sales and then donate to like those partners. So yeah, so that is all I had to share. If you go, I think I posted it in our section, Alterrage. Then you can vote on if you are interested in like joining an affinity, and then also the first poll about what should we call them, like how do we call the divisions of the Alterrage ecosystem. I put different ideas of affinity, genus, sphere, factor, or métier. So I'll respond now like with all the emojis so people can like click them more easily. So yeah, that's all I had from my side.